Hello. Oh, there you are. I'm having a little snack before the show. A little pre-show snack. Carbo loading for you. Welcome aboard. Happy first Friday, everybody. Oh my God. I can see that Mevo's really got some problems today. But she's going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Dude, Dave, good to see you, sir, senor. Oh, that's not what I mean to. I keep doing a thing that I don't mean to do. That's not what I mean to do either. What do I mean to do? I want to turn off autopilot. There we go. How do I? There, can I do that? It's not autopilot, but it's something's happening. Something good. Let's have some. Can't something good happen one time? Oops. Maybe not right now. There we go. How about now? Is now good? Is now good for you? How's now? Okay. I wish. Look how tiny it's getting. That's not what I want. I want it to be a little bigger than that. I want it to be. That's not how I want it to do either. Yes. Scott, good to see you, sir. Lady Jerry says hello. Sends her regards. She is convalescing nicely. Still losing her hair. I think after the show we're going to Flowbee her down one little bit more. Lady Jerry says hello. Sends her regards. That's not what you want. You don't want to have me talking while I'm talking. Jen's here. Greetings to you, Jen. Dan, this is why you can't have good things happen. Yeah, no, I get it. Rich, hello. Bob, you just finished watching Tuesday's show 4 minutes ago. You wouldn't know there was a show today. Yes, divine intervention. There is a show today. Tomorrow's show is, I intend to do it, but I've got Lady Jerry. I'm dropping her off at 1:45 for an appointment, and then she's got to possibly stay after for more work. So tomorrow, maybe, we all love it. We all know it. Car show. Tomorrow may be a show from the car. So we'll just have to see. Adrian, yeah, you saw the Christmas pics in the new stove. Yes, the new stove. That's all up on the Caring Bridge. If you guys haven't joined the Caring Bridge, that's available. Flavia, greetings to you. Kevin T. Fitzgerald, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Kevin. Is that the Kevin Fitzgerald from internet fame, or from Denver? I think it is. I hope it is. Good evening, Todd, to you and David. When am I coming to St. Louis? As soon as I get the gig, as soon as I get the booking, I'm ready to show up. Why don't you call up Matt Behrens, Funny Bone in St. Louis, see if he wants to have me, and then tell him to call me. He's got my number. The levitating old stove. Yeah, it was. I didn't think they were going to be able to pick that thing up, Bob. The stove straps. Jen, you had a 4th interview with a company today. You're pretty confident, so you're totally blowing off work right now to watch the show. Well, good for you, Jen. Who needs... I can't even remember who you work for. Williams-Sonoma? You're bigger and better things. I don't know who you're going to work for now, but I can't wait to hear about it. Cindy, good to see you. You sent an email to join Caring Bridge, Flavia? I think I accepted you in, but I'll go on after the show and make sure that's happening. Trina, you're driving around Minneapolis right now. Wow, New York City is on the road. Warning. You calling yourself New York City and Minneapolis? Well, you're going to make it after all, just like Mary Tyler Moore. Yes, Dave, the stove is sweet. It's too small of a stove for too big of a hole. And that's a problem that we all are trying to avoid. Bob, you're saying 4th interview is a lot. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, this new stove looks small for the space. The problem is that old stove, that space was designed for that old stove, which would have lasted us our lifetimes. Those things are tanks, and I'm trying to find a home for it now, because it is a nice stove, and it's beautiful, works great. It'll work great forever. It's a Wedgwood gas tank, but we've switched to electric. We're going into the future. I've tried pushing the cabinets together. Yeah, Dave, they're bolted to the wall. Carpentry. Well, this is a job for a carpenter, and I'm not the kind of carpenter. If I was a carpenter and you were a lady, I still couldn't solve this problem. I'm going to have to bring in another carpenter. Happy Thursday, Ouija. How's it going? It's going pretty well. We're getting through it. Belinda had some red beans and rice and some etouffee without the shrimp the other night. Last night she had ramen, so her gastronomic palate is becoming adventurous, and things are happening. Everything's looking up. I feel like 2022 is going to be our year. But that's how I felt about 2021. So we'll see. I'm taking a we'll see attitude, but if you got to have a dream. Because if you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? That's a little happy talk from South Pacific. Cindy got a negative COVID test yesterday after being exposed Christmas Eve. The vaccine works. Well, who knows what worked. You might just be a powerful woman. Or they could both be true. Caught a nasty head cold anyway. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but, well, there it is. Carol, hey, holy crap, good to see you too. You're hoping 2022 isn't like Windows 11, Ouija? I wish I could remember how terrible Windows 11 was, but by then I'd already abdicated. I fell under Steve Jobs' spell, and I'm still under his spell, even though he's dead now, and I can't figure out why my phone doesn't ring all the time, even though I've turned off the Do Not Disturb. But if anybody... I might need to get a Ouija board to get a hold of customer service to get Steve Jobs to figure that one out. So, what do we got for today? Well, Mr. Predicto, is 2022 going to be better than 2021? It's all riding on this.
Everything points to yes.
Everything points to yes, Mr. Predicto. Now's a bad time to point out that he has been wrong before, but oh, you're not in any danger. I caught all those particles here in my hands. And also, I'm pretty sure I don't have COVID. Scott, you still have Windows 7? Yeah, smart move. Don't upgrade until they make you upgrade. They can't make you. We're in the world of freedom. You don't have to upgrade your Windows. Not in America, my friend. You can stay on Windows 3 if you want. You don't have to get. You can get vaccinated and go back and use the Windows from before your children were born. What did you get into trouble for when you were young? What did I get into trouble for when I was young? I get in trouble for. I got a notice to appear in court because I wasn't even trespassing. I was at a party at an apartment complex that I used to live at, but the pool was locked, and we were in there swimming nude. So I was technically sort of trespassing. The cops got there after I'd already put my clothes on, so I didn't get in trouble for nude. I just got in trouble for trespassing. But it turned out to be all right. Scott, you just got your new flip phone. Well, good for you. So you got the flip phone, you got Windows 7. It's going to be a great year for you, my friend. When you decide you want to take even a baby step further into the future, you're not going to believe the camera phone on your first smartphone when you get that baby. So, all right. So I've read the. Oh, stay safe, Rachel. Oh, good. Oh, good Lord. What's going on with Rachel? Checking in from the car, you had to evacuate your house in a big hurry because of nearby fires. Very scary. Oh God. I am sending you some good thoughts, Rachel, to you and Jason. Oh, I hope you're going to be okay. Maybe you'll listen to this later, but yeah, I'm so sorry you're having fires. We're having floods, as long as it's not a Bible story on Thursday, but as long as we're getting biblical. Yeah, California, we had 6.5 inches of rain in the last 24 hours here in Santa Monica, and that is, it's got to be close to our normal yearly rainfall in Santa Monica, or at least half of it. So it's unbelievable. I haven't looked in the pit under the house to see if but the furnace is still working, and the trenches that I've dug around the perimeter are so far working. So I just, fingers crossed, I'll look in the pit tomorrow. I'll look in the pit tomorrow. I'll take a last look in the pit for 2021 tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it all goes. Hello, Sister Sue. Good to see you here today. Dave, you like your 2010 MacBook? Think it's still running OS X Omicron? Oh, exactly. Half the things still work. Yeah, I know. That's how they get you. Your machine still works, but the software doesn't work on it anymore. The reverse compatibility. And then what do we do with those computers? Those would still be great gifts for a less advanced civilization. If we maybe that's where we should be shipping our e-waste, to less advanced civilizations. Is that so hard to do? Is that so hard to do? Mary, yes, I'm wearing a sweater. It is cold. This is my warmest sweater. It's very thick. Like 40 and no snow or rain in Buffalo. This winter's crazy. Rich, yeah, interesting. I would have thought you'd already have 2 feet of snow in Buffalo by now. Flavia, you love the sweater. I'm glad you love the sweater. I love this sweater too. Lady Jerry didn't like it the first time she saw it, but she's getting used to it now. It is pretty warm, and there is no heat in the Kimbo. So when I'm sleeping at night, there is heat. I can turn it on, but then I have to turn it off because it's one of those radiant heaters, and it blasts the thing, gets it warm, and then it'll just be a sweat lodge in there. So I turn it off, then I go to sleep, then I wake up cold, then I get up, pee in the jar, turn the heater back on, then turn it off. Anyway, that's a little bit of a glimpse into my life. Coming to Austin anytime soon, Jed. I hope so. I hope I'm coming to Austin sometime soon, but that is also not on the books. But maybe the club that I used to work, Cap City, has gone out of business, and I'm still waiting to find out if Joe Rogan's club is going to open up and if they're going to have me. Be great if they did, but he may be opening one of those comedy palaces where it's too big for the likes of me. Or am I too big for it? Anyway, if we're not a good fit, I must acquit, and I won't be coming to that place in Austin. But I would like to come to Austin. Carol, it's a throwaway world, my friends. Yes, Carol. Sadly, it is a throwaway world. Nobody fixes anything. Things go bad. Jen, you're going to Houston New Year's Eve. I spent the millennium. I partied like it was 1999 in Houston for New Year's Eve because it was 1999, and I had a great time. You got to get knitting hats, Jen. Yeah, you do. If you're going to knit us a hat, they really need to get here in the next couple weeks. Otherwise, it's going to be summer again. But we can always put them in a bag for next summer. And Lady Jerry does have a fairly good amount of softy hats right now that she's purchased for her chemo hair loss, which is, by the time your hair falls out, that is the least of your problems. If you're thinking about getting cancer and you're worried about the hair loss, you've got other fish to fry by the time that's going on. Wisconsin plays Las Vegas Bowl tonight. Wow, Cindy, I didn't even know there was a Las Vegas Bowl, and now the Badgers are in it. The Badger Bowl. That's a bad snack. What are you bringing for the potluck? Oh, I made a Badger Bowl. Oh, it eats you. All right. You saw the video the other day where they take old electronics, grind them to dust, and then smelt them for the metals. Ouija, yeah. What's the environmental impact of that? What are the hazards of inhaling that e-waste dust, and what kind of chemicals do they have to do to get the good things out of the bad things? That's always the question. How much damage are you going to do getting the good things out of the bad things? Makes you feel bad you didn't think ahead for knitting chemo hats? Well, Jen, you can't think of everything. Don't beat yourself up on that. You're a sweet person, and I look forward to getting a hat from you whenever that happens. And even if it doesn't, I still my feelings for you won't change. Big plans for New Year's Eve involve snuggling under blankets. Snowed in there, Flavia. Oh, well, good for you. Mary, Badger Bowl with cheese? Oh, yeah, well, you got to put cheese on it. Yeah, most people find the Badger Bowl is intolerable without cheese and hot sauce. Dave, worse than running 100 fridges simultaneously. Yeah, I think you're right. The grinding up all that e-waste, not so good. I think that anyone that works as a smelter doesn't give a shit about toxic gases. Yes, Ouija, well said. But the people who work there aren't the only people who are subjected to the e-waste gas. Cindy, anything's good with cheese? Well, you're right about that. There. Now I'm showing all my cards. Anything's good with cheese. Sue, you're there with Mom and Dad, and their New Year's Eve celebration is at 11 a.m. I love it. Well, why don't they just do it at noon? That makes more sense to me. Why don't you do your New Year's Eve at noon? Why 11 a.m.? Why? What? That doesn't make sense. It's either noon or on East. You're already on East Coast time, so that's the advantage of living here in California is when you could still watch the ball drop when the ball drops, and be to bed by 9:30. You could be to bed by 9:10 or 9:03, for that matter. David, Badger Bowl with a flask would be better. Yes, the Badger Bowl. Where you get, I think in the flask. What do you put in your flask? What do you put in your flask? First Friday crowd, New Year's Eve bartenders. What do you put in your flask? Because coming from Wisconsin when I was high school, peppermint schnapps was a real thing. Which now we just watched Inglourious Bastards last night, and they're drinking the schnapps. But don't ever order 3 schnapps. Order 3 schnapps. If you don't want to get killed in a basement. Spoiler alert. It's always 3 schnapps. But I think I'm done with peppermint schnapps. I think if I'm loading my flask for my Badger Bowl New Year's Eve party, I think I'm gonna go for a nice whiskey, a nice bourbon edging into whiskey, kind of a bourbon scotchy bourbon whiskey. That's what I'm putting in my flask. I do like a nice vodka. But if I'm loading a flask, when it comes out of the flask, I want it to say hello, like Lionel Richie. And so I think I'm putting some, because it's me that flask is looking for. I think I'm going to put some whiskey in there. Let's see what other people are putting in their flask. Jen, Southern Comfort. I do like Southern Comfort. A little sweeter than I go these days. Dave, you're saying your 2011 MacBook Pro, a third of the keyboard you have to use an external keyboard. I had a computer like that. I had to replace the adapter twice. Well, it's a beast. Pick. If it's working, it's working. Congratulations to you. I see you were talking to Dave. But good for you, Pick. Yeah, I've got this Mac Mini over here from, I think it's got to be 6 years old or 8 years old. But I just dropped a new hard drive and flash memory thing in it. Loving it. Mary, you're saying you're in New York? Other people are from New York? Many people are from New York, Mary. How long have you been locked in for this pandemic? There's a shit ton of people still living in New York. Yeah, New York. Although, who would go out and see the ball actually drop? That's what I was just talking today, Mary, about with my neighbors. Like, I might watch that New Year's Eve in New York City on TV just to see what kind of kook, science denier Vikings are going to go out in the cold with their flask loaded with their favorite beverage, wearing diapers in the middle of a pandemic. Dance off, pants off, because not me, I can tell you that. Rich, you always drop the ball by 11 a.m. Yeah, well, good. Good for you. Every day is a little puberty day for you, Rich. Good for you. Jen, you're saying you're in New York. Are you really in New York right now? You're not in New York. Mary, you're in Utica, New York. That's not New York City. Cindy, Maker's Marker, Knob Creek. Those are excellent choices. I like both of those brands. Jen, you're in Utica. You must be up there visiting family. Carol Goldschlager, LOL. Yeah, I like that you put the LOL on there. But there's plenty. I've had Goldschlager shots during the many times when I was re-experiencing my youth after a comedy show somewhere in the Midwest with some youthful drinkers, or should I say alcoholics. You got the big 17-inch Mac or whatever. You could upgrade the OS a couple of versions and still get more life out of it. Yeah, you got to be careful upgrading the OS, but give it a go if you want. Oh, Lewis, Happy New Year's Eve to you, Lewis Johnson from Aruba. You're in Aruba, man. That sounds beautiful. So you're out on a cruise. You don't fear. You live without fear. You're like the daredevil, man. Good for you. I hope you have a great show or shows. You probably are doing multiple shows on New Year's Eve. but it sounds great. I have to admit, I'm a little jealous. So have a great New Year's Eve there. Rich, you're in New York also, Buffalo. Jen says she's in Aruba. Jen, she's a little bit of a liar, Lewis. Mary, part of Jake Fest is already together. Yeah, except for the liars. There's a lot of lying. We're going to have a Liar's Poker. We're definitely playing Liar's Poker at Jake Fest, I can tell you that. Yeah, Jen is everywhere. Peach schnapps where you go to in college. Todd, peach schnapps. Ooh, peppermint schnapps, I get it. It's a thing, but peach schnapps, who did they make that up for? Who do they make that up for? Teenage girls? What we need to do is get more teenage girls into alcoholism. All right, I'm just going to throw it open. Anybody? Peach schnapps? Let's try it. It's worth a try. Flavia, why did you think she lives in Texas? She does live in Texas. Lewis, yes, I know you're on a ship. I know you're on a ship, but they didn't know you were on a ship. Flask of Rumpelmann's is effective in most situations. Rumpelmann's. Oh, that's another one of those. I feel like it's a drinking mistake that I've grown out of, but I could be wrong, Dave. I'm willing to have a taste of your flask, not during pandemic time though. I'll have to bring little shot cups. Jepson's Malort. Brad, is that a beverage? Ooh. You're saying there's a nice theater, the Stanley Theater. It's not for lack of nice venues, Mary, that I wouldn't go somewhere. It's because it's too complicated. Like I have to rent the place and then promote it myself. Those days are. I think self-promoting shows may be behind me. I mean, I don't mind promoting them, but I'm not going to pay to book a venue and sweat it out. Lewis, you're done with shows, all alcohol and anime from now on. Sweet. Sounds like a fun night. I didn't really pick you as an anime guy. That's a fun fact about you, Lewis, that I can't wait to discuss the next time we see each other in person, which I don't know when that's going to be, but I definitely think I'll be able to get back to Denver one of these days, and I hope it's when you're in town. Fireball is a good boot flask filler. Fireball, yeah, that's that cinnamon flavored whiskey. I get it. That's going the opposite way. If that's not getting teenagers, I don't know who's cinnamon flavored whiskey. Who was that for? That's 19-year-old gentlemen, I think. Walter, is saying, hey, longtime fan, first time caller, greetings from Texas. Hope I have a great New Year. Thank you, Walter. Thank you for that. And thank you for being a fan, and thank you for chiming in and being a caller. I hope you have a great New Year, too. I've got a good feeling about 2022, but as I said, I felt that way before. Wine coolers are the gateway to peach schnapps. Yeah, I think that can go both ways, David, but we'll see. Bob, you're advising people to keep their distance from Jen. I don't know about that. Jen's probably a pretty good time. Good news, Cap City is reopening in February 2022. Jed, that is great news. I will look into it. It's probably being run by different people, but I'll do my best. Get out there, and then I'm figuring out the future of me. It's going to involve more of this, more of us. I'm going to get a Patreon. I think I'm going to start a blog where I typey type. Those are some of the things that I aspire to do next year, but I don't want to talk too much about it. No one wanted to know. Temper your own consumption. Oh, I see. The peach schnapps. Yeah, I think you might be right about that, Brad. Jen is in Texas. I can tell you that. Flavia, you use cinnamon flavored toothpaste. Lady Jerry accidentally bought some cinnamon flavored toothpaste, and she said she hated it, and so it got passed on to me. No, Mary Jen is not from Utica, and I tried the cinnamon flavored toothpaste, and I've kept the tube for when I run out of toothpaste and I don't want to go to the store, and so I have enough cinnamon toothpaste in my estimation, barring some kind of apocalypse, to last the rest of my life. So that's exciting. That's exciting for me. I've won the game. I've won the game of. I have a lifetime supply of cinnamon toothpaste. Oh, on your birthday, you chased Dave. You chased numerous shots of Rumpelmans with a car bomb. Oh, yeah, ill-advised. Yeah, those car bombs. Those are ill-advised. I think I spoke about a bad experience I had with that. Jen, now you're saying Jen is from Texas. You're going third person. Oh, I don't like the way this is going. Bob, you just gave her the keys to Spofford, New Hampshire. Well, the world is already going great. Dave, guacamole toothpaste for the win. Is that what FTW means? That's my guess. Guacamole toothpaste. I'm not picturing it. I don't think I can do it. Cindy, Happy New Year to all. May not check in again until next week. Well, that's all right. Thank you for the love to my wife. I'll pass that on, Cindy. You have a great New Year's. I'm going to try and be here tomorrow for New Year's Eve, but at the regular time, 3 p.m. But we'll see. Pick, your phone battery is nearly dead, so you have the car running and you're sitting on it empty. Anything to get your daily briefing fix. Pick. I would say you're the best, but I got to say that to everybody. You're all the best. All right. It's time. Today was like a little massage for my little brain. Ouija, you made avocado ice cream not bad for dessert. I bet. Avocado ice cream. I'm a yes on avocado ice cream, and I'm a no thank you on avocado toothpaste, if you're keeping score at home. It's time now. Say it with me. Seize the day. It's time for seize the day. We're going to seize the day. I'm going to seize this thing right here. Look at that. Seize the day. Oh, I tried to do a little camera action, and it didn't really work out. But here we go. We're back now. It's time for seize the day. And today's seize the day is from this seize today. And Rachel, I'm really thinking of you and hoping that you're going to seize the day away from those fires, and that you and Jason and all your loved ones are going to be good. All right, seize the day. Today's seize the day is from René Descartes, philosopher with a lady's name. Divide each difficulty into as many parts as is feasible and necessary to resolve it. Divide each difficulty into as many parts as is feasible and necessary to resolve it, which is a great, you don't eat the elephant all at once. You eat it one bite at a time. And so Descartes is saying you can actually cut that elephant up into little cube-sized bites. But I suggest that you eat the elephant as you're cubing it. And also, don't forget, you have to refrigerate. Well, first of all, don't be eating elephants because they're an endangered species. So let's just change that to some other large animal that it's okay to eat unless you're a vegetarian, in which case the world's largest pumpkin. My advice is to eat the spoonful of pumpkin, one spoonful at a time, and then while you're cutting it up. And then don't forget to refrigerate it, because that pumpkin will go bad, as we all know, on November 5th of every year. All right, here we go. It's time to end the show. Just looking here. I think you need a map to really get Descartes. Do you need a map? Descartes. I think you're thinking of Cartesian. Oh, well, I'm not sure. Anyway, who knows? Or all right, the world's largest sweet potato. There you go, Mary. Good choice. So happy First Friday, everyone. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Be nice to a jerk. Next year's going to be a big year for being nice to jerks. And above all, don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. I'm going to put my little tiny tripod in my bag now, so I have it in the car for tomorrow's Friday show. Unless I've got to be in talking to a doctor right at that moment, in which case I'll think of something. All right. Happy First Friday. We're about to put 2021 to bed. I hope all of our balls drop where we want them. and I'll see you tomorrow.